Hi, I'm Janiya Barron. I'm with Lamar County High School, FCCLA, in the Pennant Print Presented Level 2 competition, and I wrote Felix in the Clock of Willowbrook. Children will learn how to describe characters, settings, and major events in the story using key details. Once upon a time, in a magical village called Willowbrook, nestled between sparkling rivers and tall, whispering trees, lived a young wizard named Felix. Felix wasn't like other wizards who spent their days studying spells or helping villagers with their magic. No, Felix loved to play tricks. He was always coming up with new ways to surprise his friends and neighbors with funny, harmless pranks. Felix's magic was special. He could make flowers sing lullabies, hats dance on their own, and even turn the village fountain water into colorful bubbles that floated through the air. The villagers loved Felix's tricks because they brought laughter and joy to their everyday lives. But sometimes Felix's tricks went a little too far. One bright morning, Felix woke up with a sparkle in his eye. "Today, I'll play my biggest prank yet," he said to himself. He thought about all the fun he could have and decided to use his magic on the village clock tower, the tallest building in Willowbrook. The clock tower was very important because it told everyone when to wake up, eat, work, and rest. Felix climbed the winding stairs of the clock tower, carrying his magic wand and a bag full of sparkling dust. When he reached the top, he whispered a spell and sprinkled his dust over the great clock. Suddenly, the clock hand started spinning wildly, and the bell rang at strange times, sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes early in the morning, and sometimes not at all. At first, Felix giggled as he watched from below. The villagers looked confused, checking their watches and scratching their heads. The baker stopped baking because he didn't know when to start. The children missed their school bells, and the farmers didn't know when to begin their work in the fields. Felix's laughter faded as he saw the worried faces of his friends. He realized his prank was causing problems. The village was in chaos, and Felix felt a heavy feeling in his heart. "Oh no," he whispered. "I didn't mean to make things so hard for everyone." Determined to fix his mistake, Felix climbed back up the clock tower. The stairs seemed longer this time, and the wind whispered softly as if urging him to be careful. At the top, Felix concentrated hard and slowly to reverse the spell. The clock hand stopped spinning and returned to the correct time. The bell rang out clearly, signaling the hour, just as it should. Felix hurried down and visited each villager to apologize. He helped the baker finish the bread, walked the children to school, and even helped the farmers tend to their crops. Everyone forgave Felix because they knew he had a kind heart. From that day on, Felix still loved to play tricks, but he made sure they were kind and helpful. He used his magic to make flowers bloom brighter, to help the baker bake faster, and to cheer up anyone who felt sad. Felix learned that magic was most powerful when it made others smile without causing harm. And so, the village of Willowbrook was happier than ever, with Felix's joyful magic lighting up their lives in the best way. The end. One challenge I faced while making this book was to keep it short, engaging, and easy for a young reader to understand. I found it challenging to use descriptive words and keep the plot simple so a young child could understand the language used. One skill that I learned from writing this book was creativity and communication. I learned how to express ideas uniquely and creatively. And I could use this in a future career to express complex ideas or topics in an easier way for a young reader to understand. And this would be very beneficial in the early childhood career. Thank you.